Hello everyone, this is AJ the Movie Owl, back for another short video regarding an item that I picked up from Amazon Germany. Not everyone's cup of tea. It's Robocop. When I say not everyone's cup of tea, I'm not talking about the 1987 Paul Verhoeven classic. I'm not talking about Robocop 2. No, I'm not even talking about Robocop 3. Nor Robocop, the 2016 or 17 remake. With Joe Kinnaman in it. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I am going to talk about Robocop, the series. Yes. Robocop, the series. So, I saw this on Amazon Germany and I got super excited. I really did. I do remember the show from way back when. I remember going down to my local video shop and days of VHS, and they used to do pirates behind the counter. You know the sort of thing I mean. And they said they had Robocop 4. Now, me being young and naive, and you know, in them days films did come out that you hadn't heard were coming out and that sort of thing, because you didn't have the internet, you just had magazines and that. I was like, yeah, I'll have some of that, Robocop 4. And what I got was the pilot episode of Robocop TV series, which does, fair enough, does run at about an hour and a half's length, so it is filmic in length, but budget of a TV series. So this here is the German release for Robocop Platinum Cult TV series, uncut and remastered. Robocop the series. That's your spine. That's the rear. Now, I'll be honest, at the time, I didn't ever get through the entire series when it was on. That's the outer cover. Die Komplett Serie. That's German for the complete series. Clever honour. Yes, so this is the interior of the box. You get a nice disc art. It's 2 discs. 22 episodes, or 23 if you count the pilot as a 2-part, but it's as 1 part, but lengthwise it's 2 episodes. So 23 episodes spread over 2 discs. You do get a interior, like doing most German boxes. You do get a cover on the inside, so you can choose which one you have. I opt for the grey outer box. So, yeah, a little bit about this series. Now, I know it wasn't particularly good, but again, from a nostalgia factor, back then I loved my TV. So the series obviously follows Alex Murphy again as Robocop. Now, I'm not going to be able to remember the characters' names or anything like that. You have got the old man in it. You've got a villain who pops up now and then called Pudface Morgan, who's a fella with... He's in a rubber mask, but he looks all deformed. And basically, if you imagine the geezer in Robocop 1 who fell into the vat of acid, if he didn't die, this is kind of like the TV version of him after those events. Robocop does have a female partner in it, Yvette Sniper, I think her name, something along those sort of lines. Probably totally wrong. She doesn't play can't remember her name from Robocop. What's going on with me? Lewis, is it? Anyway, she doesn't play that character. She's another female detective or police officer who becomes a detective. There is another girl in it who ends up being killed and her brain used in a supercomputer, and she comes back as a hologram that interacts with Robocop Murphy. She actually looks pretty damn good, you know. The effects in the program aren't too bad. The exteriors are of the city and that sort of thing. Some of them are a bit dated now, but Robocop looks pretty good. Some of the action is pretty good. It must have been quite an expensive show to make. But yes, I can understand people's problems with it. It's very child friendly, obviously, being on TV. Robocop doesn't kill anyone. If he's trying to, if he's in a shootout with someone, he'd rather shoot a chandelier to drop on them, or shoot the leg of a wardrobe so that it drops on instead of him shooting them. This sort of silliness. But it's funny because I've got a theory with Robocop the film, because obviously the sequels and the remake failed to impress. Robocop 2 isn't too bad, but when you take Robocop, the story, and the first film, once that first film is done, the story is complete. There's nowhere else. There's nowhere else interesting to take this character. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. That you got two options. Okay, so Robocop 1 is the story of a man who loses his identity, and subsequently has to go on a journey to rediscover the identity and who he was. That's the basic premise for Robocop. I know there's a lot of religious analogies within it and all this sort of stuff, raising from the dead and all that, but its basis element, it's about a fella loses his identity. Now I have to rediscover that identity and who I was and what it means to be human, and there you have it. So by the end of the film, that objective is met. Right, he becomes Alex Murphy again. The last lines of the film even tell you this. When the old man says, what's your name, son? And he says, Murphy. Yeah, so he becomes. So you're now stuck, story-wise, with the sequel. Right, you've got two directions to now take this character. Number one is, let's pit him against, do a storyline where we pit him against another robot, a bigger, stronger robot, which is exactly what Robocop 2 done, or we go down the police procedural route with the character. Obviously, Robocop 2 took the robot option, and ultra-violent film, not as good as the first, overly long. It has got some good action set pieces and all that, and Kane the villain did used to scare the crap out of me when I was quite young when I first saw the film. But ultimately the film failed. Then we got Robocop 3, which in itself was a part of that just felt. It was sort of snapped anyway. Anyway, then we got Robocop 3, which was complete silliness. All right. Then we got Robocop TV series. Now, I think Robocop is suited to TV more so than sequel films or remake. Now, I know people are gonna this is gonna make people rear up and say blah, 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 blah. But hear me out. Taking him down the police procedural route is the logical step. You can do a plethora of storylines under that guise. Yes, you don't get the satirical element that the first Robocop had, the commentary, the social commentary. You don't get the violence. I understand that, but what are you going to do? So Robocop series is interesting in the sense that they did take him down that police procedural route. Is the series good? Not really, no. Can I have fun with it? Yes. Do I rate it anywhere along the lines of Robocop 1? No, Robocop 1's a classic film. It'd be in my top 10 films of the 80s. It'd be high up, very high up if I rated the films that I love. It's a great film. This would be low down on television series that I like. But what I saw of it, I had fun, and I was happy to see some more. Hence why I purchased it. So, that's my thoughts on that. It did get cancelled at the end of its first season. You did have 22 episodes. But there was a revival, and I'm not talking about a remake. Now, I'm going to spin around a bit, because there were 4 other TV movies that were done, which I do have. Now, they've never had a Blu-ray release anywhere in any region, but they have had the DVD releases. I'm going to do the unthinkable and show some DVDs. So that's Robocop Dark Justice, which is a Robocop film that was done. See, it's like a TV film, but a bigger budget, a lot darker than the TV series. Tonally, it was different. Then you had Robocop Crash and Burn. You can see Robocop versus Robocop, so you're getting that. Oh, let's pit him against another cyborg type thing. Then you had Robocop Resurrection. Now, I haven't seen these films in a long, long time. They were a bit hit and miss. You know, I wouldn't really recommend them as being fantastic or anything like that. And then you had Robocop Meltdown. Now, I think the order I've just shown you in is the correct order. That's how they sat on my shelf anyway. I think I've showed you in a completely different order, judging by the numbers on the side. My apologies. So you have Robocop Dark Justice. Then you have Robocop Meltdown. Then you have Robocop Resurrection. And last but not least, you have Robocop Crash and Burn. Now, this was a TV series. It was actually called Robocop Prime Directives. So if you want to search them out, search for Robocop Prime Directives. And this is what you can find. This is what you'll find. Now, I'm sure you can get them very cheap. Very, very cheap. There is a box set with all four in. I got them in individual Amaray cases because I like Amaray cases. Even back in the day of DVD. Yeah, so that's a little chat on Robocop. Primarily because I picked up Robocop, the series. Die Complete series. Yes, so like I said, Amazon Germany. That's where I got this from. Have you seen this? What are your thoughts? Come on, get down in the comments below and tell me how bad a series this is and how much an idiot I am for purchasing it. Come on, I know you want to. I know you want to give me some of them, but give me some of them. Come on. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be looking at nonsense. I'll be looking at films. I'll be doing film reviews. All this sort of stuff. So it's worth your time subscribing. Young channel. Young me. On here. But yeah. So that's me. Done. For now. Till I'm back again. So be good, everyone. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I shall see you later. Take care all. Goodbye.